Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chloe. This is the house of Chloe that I'm building in my backyard. And on my live streams, I say whatever I want. And today I would like to talk about the Bible. Read the Bible. Basically, what is this? It's stuffed mail under here. I need to remember to pay this. And I don't know what that is. Home Depot something. Fast Track and Home Depot. Alright. Oh boy, hey Robert. Okay, today's chapters for reading the Bible in 1 year is Exodus 36 through 38. And it is the second to last day of the month. Okay, so 36 through 38. Fairly short. It's like 1, 2, 3 pages. So that's good. I always say like that's good, like it's a chore, but it is kind of a chore, but it is a good chore. Okay, moving on. Exodus 36. In Bezalel and Aholiab and every gifted artisan in whom the Lord has put wisdom and understanding to know how to do all manner of work for the service of the sanctuary shall do according to all that the Lord has commanded. The people give more than enough. Then Moses called Bezalel and Aholiab and every gifted. I'm reading the same thing again. I don't even know what just happened there. Like I had a glitch in my mind. Did I read that part? And every gifted artisan. Okay. It's saying the same thing again. Okay. In whom the Lord has put wisdom and understanding to know how to do all manner of work for the service of the sanctuary shall do according to all that the Lord has commanded. The people give more than enough. Then Moses called Bezalel and Aholiab and every gifted artisan in whose heart the Lord had put wisdom, everyone whose heart has stirred to come and do the work. And they received from Moses all the offering which the children of Israel had brought for the work of the service of making the sanctuary. So they continued bringing to him free will offering every morning. Then all the craftsmen who were doing all the work of the sanctuary came, each from the work he was doing, and they spoke to Moses, saying, the people bring much more than enough for the service of the work which the Lord commanded us to do. So Moses gave a commandment, and they caused it to be proclaimed throughout the camp, saying, let neither man nor woman do any more work for the offering of the sanctuary. And the people were restrained from bringing, for the material they had was sufficient for all the work to be done. Indeed, too much. Building the tabernacle, then all the gifted artisans among them who worked on the tabernacle made 10 curtains woven of fine linen and of blue, purple, and scarlet thread with artistic designs of cherubim. They made them. The length of each curtain was 28 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. The curtains were all the same size, and he coupled 5 curtains to one another, and the other 5 curtains he coupled to one another. He made loops of blue yarn on the edge of the curtain on the selvage of one set. Likewise, he did on the outer edge of the other curtain of the second set. 50 loops he made on one curtain, and 50 loops he made on the edge of the curtain. On the end of the second set, the loops held one curtain to another, and he made 50 clasps of gold and coupled the curtain to one another with the clasps that it might be one tabernacle. Are you doing Bible study? Yeah, we're reading the Bible. Join us. He made curtains of goat's hair for the tent over the tabernacle. He made 11 curtains. The length of each curtain was 30 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. I say different numbers, and it actually says 11, not 7. Curtains were the same size. He coupled 5 curtains by themselves and 6 curtains by themselves, and he made 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that is outermost in one set, and 50 loops he made on the edge of the curtain of the second set. He also made 50 bronze clasps to couple the tent together that it might be one. Then he made a covering for the tent of ram skin dyed red, and a covering of badger skins above that. Well, a fellow believer, I know you see it's almost time. Almost time for what? I have my glasses on for once. For the tabernacle he made boards of acacia wood standing upright. The length of each board was 10 cubits, and the width of each board a cubit and a half. Each board had 2 tenons of binding one to another. Thus he made for all the boards of the tabernacle, and he made boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards for the south side, 40 sockets of silver he made to go under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under each of the boards for its 2 tenons, and for the other side of the tabernacle, the north side, he made 20 boards, and their 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under each of the boards. For the west side of the tabernacle, he made 6 boards. He also made 2 boards for the 2 back corners of the tabernacle, and they were coupled at the bottom and coupled together at the top by 1 ring. Thus he made both of them for the 2 corners. So there were 8 boards and their sockets, 16 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under each of the boards. And he made bars of acacia wood, 5 for the boards on one side of the tabernacle, 5 bars for the boards on the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the tabernacle on the far side westward. And he made the middle bar to pass through the boards from one end to the other. He overlaid the boards with gold, made their rings of gold to be holders for the bars, and overlaid the bars with gold. And he made a veil of blue, purple, and scarlet thread and 5 woven linen. It was worked with an artistic design of cherubim. He made for it 4 pillars of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold with their hooks of gold. And he cast 4 sockets of silver for them. He also made a screen for the tabernacle door of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and 5 woven linen made by a weaver, and its 5 pillars with their hooks, and he overlaid their capitals and their rings with gold, but their 5 sockets were bronze. And that is chapter 36. I will be taking questions before we move on. Are you doing Bible study? Yes. Our King's Return. Yes, I am looking forward to it. Hi, Bruce. Letters, scrolls, scriptures, amendments, knowledge. Wait, letters, scrolls, scriptures, amendments, mitigations, knowledge, dedication. I asked my parish priest, and he could not answer me if we really have God-given inalienable rights within the Bill of Rights, which restricts the government from taking away our God-given rights. I don't know. Worldly Testament. Jesus discernment. Mystery Babylon. The beast is here, almost time. He watches and listens with our most prized possessions, devices of old prepare. But he could not answer my question. I'm sorry. Yahweh. We're moving on to chapter 37 of Exodus. Making the Ark of the Testimony. Then Bezalel made the Ark of the acacia wood. 2.5 cubits was its length, a cubit and a half its width, and a cubit and a half its height. He overlaid it with pure gold inside and outside, and made a molding of gold all around it. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold to be set in its 4 corners, 2 rings on one side and 2 rings on the other side of it. He made poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold, and he put the poles into the rings at the sides of the ark to bear the ark. He also made the mercy seat of pure gold. 2.5 cubits was its length, and a cubit and a half its width. He made 2 cherubim of beaten gold. He made them of one piece at the 2 ends of the mercy seat. 1 cherub at one end on this side, and the other cherub at the other end on that side. He made the cherubim at the 2 ends of one piece with the mercy seat. The cherubim spread out their wings above and covered the mercy seat with their wings. They faced one another. The faces of the cherubim were toward the mercy seat. Making the table for the showbread. He made the table of acacia wood. 2 cubits was its length, a cubit its width, and a cubit and a half its height. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and made a molding of gold all around it. Also he made a frame of a handbreadth all around it, and made a molding of gold for the frame all around it. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings on the 4 corners that were at its 4 legs. The rings were close to the frame as holders for the poles to bear the table. And he made the poles of acacia wood to bear the table, and overlaid them with gold. He made of pure gold, the utensils which were on the table, its dishes, its cups, its bowls, and its pitchers for pouring. Making the gold lampstand. He also made the lampstand of pure gold, of hammered work. He made the lampstand, its shaft, its branches, its bowls, its ornaments, knobs, and its flowers were all the same piece, and 6 branches came out of its sides, 3 branches of lampstand out of one side, and 3 branches of the lampstand out of the other side. There were 3 bowls made like almond blossoms on one branch, with an ornamental knob and a flower, and 3 bowls made like almond blossoms on the other branch, with an ornamental knob and a flower. And so for the 6 branches coming out of the lampstand, and on the lampstand itself were 4 bowls made like almond blossoms, each with its ornaments, knob, and flower. There was a knob under the first two branches of the same, a knob under the second 2 branches of the same, and a knob under the third 2 branches of the same. According to the 6 branches extending from it, their knobs and their branches were all of one piece. All of it was one hammered piece of pure gold. And he made its 7 lamps, its wick trimmers, and its trays of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold he made it with all its utensils. Making the altar of incense. Thanks, Chloe. Nice name to you too. Making the altar of incense. He made the incense altar of acacia wood. Its length was a cubit, and its width a cubit. It was square, and 2 cubits was its height. Its horns were of one piece with it, and he overlaid it with pure gold, its top, its sides, all around, and its horns. He also made for it a molding of gold all around it. He made 2 rings of gold for it under its molding by its 2 corners on both sides as holders for the poles with which to bear it. And he made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold, making the anointing oil and the incense. Thanks for the faces, Alberto. Making the anointing oil and the incense. He also made the holy anointing oil and the pure incense of sweet spices according to the work of the perfumer. I will be taking any questions, comments, concerns before we go into the next chapter. Anything? Nothing. Okay, we are going to read chapter 38 of Exodus, making the altar of burnt offering. This is just a little ways to go. Thank goodness my hands aren't shaking anymore. Lots of incense made then. Yes, lots of incense made. He made the altar of burnt offering of acacia wood. 5 cubits was its length, and 5 cubits its width. It was square, and its height was getting my letters mixed up, was 3 cubits. He made its horns on its 4 corners. The horns were one piece with it, and he overlaid it with bronze. He made all the utensils for the altar, the pans, the shovels, the basins, the forks, and the fire pans, all its utensils. he made of bronze, and he made a great of bronze network for the altar. Under its rim, midway from the bottom, he cast 4 rings for the 4 corners of the bronze grating as holders for the poles, and he made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. Then he put the poles into the rings on the sides of the altar with which to bear it. He made the altar hollow with boards. Making the bronze laver. He made the laver bronze and its base of bronze from the bronze mirrors of the serving women who assembled at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Yea, steady hands, yes. Making the court of the tabernacle. Then he made the court on the south side. The hangings of the court were of fine woven linen, 100 cubits long. There were 20 pillars for them, with 20 bronze sockets. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver. On the north side, the hangings were 100 cubits long, with 20 pillars and their 20 bronze sockets. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver, and on the west side there were hanging of 50 cubits, with 10 pillars and their 10 sockets. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver. For the east side, the hanging were 50 cubits. The hanging of one side of the gate were 50 cubits long, with their 15 cubits long, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. And the same for the other side of the court gate on this side, and that were hanging of 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. All the hanging of the court all around were of fine woven linen. The sockets of the pillars were bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver, and the overlay of their capitals were silver. And all the pillars of the court had bands of silver. The screen for the gate of the court was woven of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and of fine woven linen. The length was 20 cubits, and the height along its width was 5 cubits, corresponding to the hanging of the court. And there were 4 pillars with their 4 sockets of bronze. Their hooks were silver, and the overlay of their capitals and their bands were silver. All the pegs of the tabernacle and of the court all around were bronze. Good morning, Dublin. Materials of the tabernacle. This is the inventory of the tabernacle. The tabernacle of the testimony, which was counted according to the commandment of Moses for the service of the Levites by the hand of Ithamar, son of Aaron, and priest Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made all that the Lord had commanded Moses, and with him was Aholiab, the son of Ahishamash, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver and designer, a weaver of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and of fine linen. All the gold that was used in all the work of the holy place, that is, the gold of the offering, was 29 talents and 730 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. And the silver from those who were numbered of the congregation was 100 talents and 1,775 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, a beka of each man, that is a beka, a beka, a beka of each man, that is a half a shekel, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone included in the numbering from 20 years old and above, for 503,550 men. And from the 100 talents of silver were cast the sockets of the sanctuary and the bases of the veil, 100 sockets. From the 100 talents, 1 talent for each socket. Then from the 1,775 shekels he made hooks for the pillars, overlaid their capitals, and made bands for them. The offering of bronze was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels, and with it he made the sockets for the door of the tabernacle of meeting, the bronze altar, the bronze grating for it, and all the utensils for the altar, the sockets for the court all around, the bases for the court gate, all the pegs for the tabernacle, and all the pegs for the court all around. Okay, my idea right now is to translate all these details into like a screen of like what that might look like, all the sockets and all the bronze grating and blue and purple and scarlet, and like we need to have like some kind of visualization of all this, like these details, and how long, how many sockets, how many pillars, how many, like all of that. Like that would be cool. I want that. Yeah, the cat's still around. He's back there. Calvin, what are you doing? Hi. Hi. Okay. Yay, steady hands. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Chloe. Hope you are doing well. Thank you. Hope you are too. Did you eat the ginger cat? No, I didn't eat him. He's still around. Yeah. So tomorrow, next reading will be chapters 39 through chapter 40. And then we will be done with Exodus. Next is Leviticus. We can cross out our day for today. And any questions, comments, concerns? I always end a stream with a little bit of an update and talk. But yeah, there's been like one update, and that is just like that's just that Uber has been better today. Uber has been really slow lately because of the holidays. I'm guessing like people are more doing Uber more because of the amount of money they have to spend for their family and friends on the holidays, or like go out or go travel or whatever. So I'm guessing that's why Uber was so slow, is because there's probably so many of them, us going out there and trying to drive and make extra money. But for me, it is my livelihood right now. So it's kind of scary when it's just like, no rides for a whole hour or two, and it's like, what do I do? You know, but yeah, I'm sticking with it, keeping the app on even if it is slow, so that that time counts for them making up for my time once I get paid. Because Uber has this Prop 22, I think, where it's like you get paid for the time that you're online, even if you're not receiving a lot of rides. But it's been good about doing that, so that's good. But it's been busier, so that's good too. Good and good. All right. So I'm gonna put on my crown because it matches my hair right now. I'm glad that some people have been sticking with me through these Bible readings. It's not everyone's thing, but it's cool that you guys are still watching. Like some of you are still watching. But yeah, that's all for me. You guys got anything to share? Thank you, Princess Chloe. You're welcome. I look really cute. No, I'm kidding. I look funny. Maybe take the glasses off. I actually like my hair color. It's gonna go away fast though because my roots are already coming in. I'm gonna put another toner on it, I think, once my roots grow in a little more. It's been a good couple days. That's good. Staying out of the ER, Robert. Got your new medical devices? I'm on my medication still, the Zyprexa. Yes, good. But yeah, I'm going to keep on taking Zyprexa because I feel like that's the safest thing to do, is just keep taking it, keep taking it, keep taking it. Just order more. Good. I mean, just to take the amount prescribed, but like, I think that's the best plan of action right now for me, is to stay on it, even though I've gone off lithium for reasons, gathered reasons, thyroid, stomach, and shaking. And that's been, my hands have stopped shaking as much. My stomach is better. And I mean, I'm hoping my thyroid goes to normal levels because I don't want Graves' disease or have to take thyroid medication. But that's done. Going off of it has not been like a huge change other than positives. So that's good. Yeah, last time going off Zyprexa was hard, and it got me to even up my dose. I think maybe that's why it was so bad the last time, was because I was taking half the dose of what I was prescribed. So I wanted to get on lithium, but obviously that didn't work. So yeah, being on the full dose every day, even though like you think, oh, it's better to have no medication. We don't live in a perfect world, and we don't have a crystal ball. That's one from my therapist. We don't have a crystal ball. So we don't know if I get off of it that I will feel okay. I will most likely feel worse or like hallucinate again. Um, so I'm just gonna stay on it, keep taking it. It's good stuff. I mean, there are side effects like shrinking your brain, gray matter, something happens there, memory loss, but it's the quality of life versus the longevity of life. If I didn't have medication, I could possibly not been able to get out of my psychosis and possibly, die or always just be hallucinating. So that's another thing I'm just gonna need to like pray over, research about, and read into, and try to be logical and not get my emotions to be compulsive and stuff like that. Just be logical about it. Like, is it worth risking like your family, your friends, your support system, your home? Like, I could literally be kicked out if I do something too crazy. Like my home, my pets, like I have a lot of things good going for me that I don't want to risk like having another psychotic episode. So I am gonna keep on praying, keep on reading, keep on looking in the internet, the Google, and trying to read up about it, like read all of the side effects, all the possibilities if I stop taking it, all of the everything. I'm just gonna keep on doing my research, I guess. So that'll be good. But thanks for watching. I will see you tomorrow. We will finish Exodus. And much love and peace is what Robert says. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.